If your pictures aren't good enough, you aren't close enough, is a standard photography maxim from the great Hungarian photojournalist Robert Capa. The quote has been often cited over the years as motivation to go where others have not, be it closer to front lines or investigating personal spaces. In the project by PACO Design Collaborative, children are close enough to take pictures about marginalisation and poverty, gloom and hopelessness. The Italian research program of the AMASS project, funded by the Horizon 2020 grant of the European Union, children and youth aged 6 to 13 are invited to look around and capture the beauty and shabbiness, excitement and calm, hope and fear in their environment. In 4 Italian cities, they take part in participatory analogic photography workshops. They learn about themselves and their environment and reveal what they discovered in striking or uplifting images. This film shows the end of an educational process that invited children to slow down and observe their world through the lens of a traditional camera. Using analog technology, you must think before you shoot. There are no immediate results to correct by the click of a button, no corrective filters or compositional aids. The picture is final, and it will be seen days or weeks later only after the film has been developed. We observed the selection of photographs by the children in Palermo and their exhibitions in Catanzaro and Naples, and witnessed differences and similarities experienced by children and teenagers living in geographical, social and educational marginalisation. A better world is possible. We believe we can explore it and design it. This is the first sentence that catches the eye on the homepage of the leader of the experiment, PACO Design Collaborative. The designers help building communities. The issues of marginalisation, social cohesion, and the use of common resources see communities as proactive agents of change. Through collaborative and creative processes, we aim to empower communities to face these challenges. Their partners in selecting sites for using photography to make messages of children heard is the Foundation L'Albero della Vita, a name of universal mythological significance, the Tree of Life. Established in 1997, they ensure children's well-being through offering them proper nutrition as well as personal or medical care. They also cater for their future and create opportunities for a decent, full and satisfactory life through cultural, social and sports activities. With their words, they give a chance of freely nurturing their most intimate aspirations. Kids and teenagers living in the suburban areas of big cities may have aspirations, but these are difficult even to talk about. The places where they live are often dominated by neglect and crime, and many families live in extreme poverty. What is the use of a few photo sessions, we wondered, while approaching the sites where the children were preparing for exhibiting how they see the world around them. Taking photos is an active engagement with reality for them, and for us, a chance to see their world through their eyes. Dai miei occhi. Through my eyes, to quote the title of the project. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, as the ancient Greek saying goes, but can they see beyond the barriers of this situation? Living in economic poverty is a strong barrier to overcome. The COVID crisis affects all the segments of the labour market through the decline in employment for the young, wage cuts for those who can keep their jobs. The economic impact of the crisis was especially severe in the areas with a greater reliance on tourism, like the southern part of Italy. Here, there are more than 2 million households in absolute poverty, involving more than 5.6 million individuals. Young people aged 25 to 19, 2.1 million inhabitants, are neat, neither in employment nor in education. At least that was the case in 2020. This is almost a quarter of their cohort at the national level, but every third young person lives in the south and the islands. Social challenges are often coupled with educational poverty. Teaching and learning is a decisive factor in reducing inequalities and aligning employment and income prospects along the three axes identified as priorities of Italy: gender, age, and territory. The aim is to reduce differences between the more affluent north and the impoverished south. Education through the arts is an area explored by the AMASS project. Artists and educators in 7 countries hope to offer new perspectives through the arts. The methods by PACO are simple and straightforward. They give suburban ghetto children voice and make this voice heard. After learning about the main concepts of photography, they are shown how to use a traditional analogue camera. Then, led by local photographers, children set out to explore their neighborhood in search of scenes, people, and objects worth capturing. They know that their photos will be developed, appreciated, discussed, and selected for an exhibition where their parents, teachers, and peers may see them. Their creations will be recognized, their viewpoints heard and valued. We witnessed the process of selecting images for the exhibition in Palermo, while being ushered through the reportedly dangerous streets towards the house where l'Albero della Vita offered learning and creation opportunities for the kids of the neighborhood. Our hearts sank deeper and deeper. But at the end of the shabby corridor, we found unexpected beauty. Murals painted by the children, the trees in the courtyard, the birds who found their way within the dark building can symbolize the efforts of this project. Find inspiration in your surroundings. Open your eyes and raise your head. Selecting the photos for the exhibition is preceded by a feedback session. With their freshly developed pictures in hand, it is easier to talk about feelings and thoughts, about life in the community that, for some of them, may be so different from their land of origin. They select words that match the mood of their pictures, and through the photo collage, they map out their hopes and fears. At this safe space, a bright future seems to be within reach. At the selecting session, all the photographs taken by the children are printed in small format. An amazing amount of about 100 images per participant are on show at the selection round. Children, local professional photographers, and PACO designers, Silvia Remotti and Carolina Guterres Novoa, co-designed the final exhibition. Personal meaning hidden behind an everyday scene is revealed, and images are linked by common concepts. By the end of the session, a joint narrative is constructed. The method employed by PACO is close to a successful London-based educational model, Photo Voice. This methodology intends to build a world in which everybody has the opportunity to represent themselves and tell their own story, as they say. The charity that employs ethical photography to promote positive social change uses the camera both as an art form and a way to record facts. While revealing hidden excitement, love and growth in a seemingly hopeless environment, its photos communicate perspectives and raise awareness of social and global issues. Dai miei occhi has more modest but not less important aims. This project teaches the basics of photographic language, and with this, a new way to look at their environment. Praise and criticism from mentors and peers prove that the contribution of children matters. An eye-opener for their community, these photos can become the first steps on the way out of educational poverty and towards a more meaningful life. Preparing for the exhibition in Catanzaro is quite different from the pompousness of child art exhibitions. Future generations need to be more emphatic, collaborative, critical, and creative. Learning processes and knowledge sharing are crucial in making this happen. This sentence from PACO's mission is reflected in the arrangements. The venue of the exhibition, the local centre of l'Albero della Vita Foundation, sits on a little square surrounded by phalanstery, a large circle of uniform blocks of flats. The small but very well-equipped educational centre is like an island made of concrete, a welcoming place for learning and play, inspiration and care. It is also the embodiment of the mission of the PACO Collaborative. Using the tools of design and research, we envision and shape a potential future. The success of the l'Albero della Vita Foundation in Catanzaro is largely due to its excellent local staff. The leader of the facility, teacher, mentor, and social worker has more than 20 years of experience. She fills the space with dynamism and enthusiasm. No visual art exhibition opening without the sister arts. Children prepare to greet their parents and friends with a dance. Parent group work in heterogeneous age groups is considered the most difficult arrangement in education. Just think of multi-grade schools. In this project, we experienced a meaningful moment of peer support and recognition. The logo and the name of the project, recalling the cameraman selecting the best frame, appears on the walls, on tote bags, notepads, and the catalogue of the exhibition, but also on cakes baked by the staff as a sweet souvenir of the great day. It was even sung by one of the participants, who improvised a rap song to celebrate the exhibition and the way leading there. Photo Voice, the model that was mentioned in connection with the PACO methodology, employs digital techniques. The PACO researchers opted for analog cameras. With this tool, the same for all children, they eliminated differences of imaging, resulting from different qualities of mobile phones. And they developed two important skill clusters as well, analyzing and solution of problems. This effect of analog camera use was revealed in an experiment by the Chinese psychologist Liu Wenyi in 2013 through an experiment identifying 11 personality factors that photography as an immersive, complex activity may develop. Photography with analog camera. In an article entitled The 5 Benefits of Traditional Photography, written in 2019, Ellen Levitt points out that this technique brings together artistic and scientific experimentation in an enjoyable manner. Students grapple with physical properties of light and perspective, whether they work with black and white or color processes, Levitt says, and emphasizes the importance of the meticulous hands-on activity of measuring light and distance and choosing the right angle. Besides psychomotor development, it is also a lesson in patience and care. Analog photographs, I quote, have a special aura to them, a unique sentiment and depth compared to those glanced at on cell phone screens or social media pages. Students make photographs as well as memories. They can regard their finished products as pieces of artwork, Levitt comments. PACO researchers consider responsibility and patience, commitment, respect, and self-awareness the major areas of development resulting from their project for participants aged 6 to 17. Naturally, there were differences in the work of children and youth in the selection of theme and style. The youngest of them showed their immediate environment, family, friends, and pets, with love and pride. Teenagers, however, predominantly selected objects outside the safe haven of the home and pictured it with humor and criticism. Theme selection reflects life choices. Kids up to 14 like their living environment and enjoy the playgrounds, but older teenagers go elsewhere to socialize. They leave the grey world of the communal housing estate behind. Their images have rich layers of meaning, important for us, adults, to decipher. In the open space in front of the exhibition, children formed a circle with blown-up images in their hands. The visitors were invited to choose from them and tell the others the reason of their choice. Direct involvement of the audience in sharing thoughts about the photographs made young creators realize the importance of the world through their eyes, captured by the camera. This is perhaps the major result of the Dai miei occhi project, to show children that their work has meaning for their community. An eye-opener for adults, these photos can become the first steps towards a better self-esteem for the young photographer and a deeper understanding of the world seen through their children's eyes. A life full of challenges, but also one with potential. In Naples, the exhibition venue was the communal garden of Ponticelli. Here, citizens from the neighboring housing estate may have a small plot of their own to grow fruits, vegetables and flowers. In the center of the garden, the photos selected by the children integrate the glooming housing estate with the grey walls and small windows and the flowery garden, gleaming in the heat of the southern Italian summer. A large-scale photo of each child was attached on a stick and carried around proudly. Being photographed and filmed with your own blown-up photo in hand was a sign of public recognition that some children enjoyed for the first time in their life. Awareness, identity, empowerment, and understanding, the four phases that NGOs working with marginalized communities have to go through, according to the toolbook developed for them by the designers of PACO. In this experiment, children embark on this spiritual journey. With the camera at hand and a professional photographer leading the way, they become aware of messages of their environment that should be shared. Composing the analog photographs with great care, deciding over the images to capture on the 24 frames of the black and white film, they develop a new cultural identity. Discussing their images with peers and sharing them with family and friends, they feel empowered to articulate their likes and dislikes, the things they value, and those that are better left behind. Projects that don't generate any income cannot be sustainable. They generally cease to exist after the funds run out. However, this isn't only an effort to counteract marginalisation, it is an educational model that has the potentials to survive in formal and informal art and design education. Children in Naples, Catanzaro and Palermo, the project venues we visited, are adamant to continue making photos and expressing themselves, as quoted in the evaluation report of the project. We hope that results of the informal arts-based intervention will serve as a model for art education. Laura Hart, working in a similar environment in Canada, proved that teaching photography to teens is beneficial for cross-cultural understanding, identity development, and democratic citizenship. Thus, this model may constitute a very relevant part of contemporary civic education through art. In an arts education policy journal, Nina Likul recently showed results of a Croatian survey about teaching photography in primary grades. Her findings indicate the need to place greater emphasis on photography as an artistic medium in education. Studies on the visual literacy of adolescents established that even young generations can experience nostalgic feelings of a past era they never knew firsthand. Analog photography is an emerging practice for youth, and it is becoming popular among self-taught visual culture communities of adolescents. In a comparative study executed in 2013 about image consumption and mass production behavior on Instagram and the nostalgia-driven, slow life-oriented analog photography of the young, Evelyn Morlow, a Swedish economist, suggests that young analog users want to renew old practices, to give depth to their experiences and create emotionally meaningful personal memories of the present. This aesthetic intention, coupled with the intensity of visual ethnography, makes the PACO experiment a literally iconic achievement in the AMASS project, developing successful actors on the margins.